election fraud's everywhere. You know, you gotta find it. You gotta dig for it. And we haven't given up because we don't want to be a socialist country, communist, and be able to be marched and told when we can do what, when, where. Trump won't allow that. So we want our country back.
Say it with me. Stop the steal. Stop the steal. Stop the steal. Stop the steal. We know this election was stolen. Do we really believe that the party who believes that looting is justified in the name of social justice didn't steal this election in the name of social justice? I refer to myself as the Reagan babe because there were three men that affected my life. Ronald Reagan, my father, and my grandfather. They were all veterans, and they fought tooth and nail and nearly died for this country. And I will do the same, because I am not going to watch my country be destroyed from within by the communists, by the Marxists, by the socialists, that have found a home in the Democrat Party. Why is it that communists and Marxists and socialists find a home in the Democrat Party? It's because that's where they are welcomed. We don't want to fundamentally transform this country. We will defend it with our lives. We will defend this country with our lives. We will defend this president with our lives. We are going to march all the way to the Supreme Court, and our fight does not stop at the Supreme Court. We take the fight back to our precincts, we take them back to our neighborhoods, and we make for damn sure that our local elected officials are elected fairly, and they are elected squarely, and that our voice, which is our vote, is not stolen.
Until 2018, and I started seeing a lot of news break out like, oh, something happened here, it was fake. So I searched something happened here, it was fake. So when I fell into the narrative of like, oh, hey, this is where I'm supposed to go for my news, and then that place is false, something clicks. Some people call it the red pill, some people call it whatever. I just call it searching the truth, and that's what I'm finding out now. He's not perfect. His tactics need some work, but he is doing a lot for America.
What are the news sources that you go to? Because one of the narratives out there is that a lot of people online are getting duped with different type of bots and bad information. What are your news sources?
My news sources, so I use NewsGuard, which is a third party. It tells you what is credited, what is not. Mostly I use Daily Mail, Newsmax. I also go to Fox. After what they just did, so, I don't know. Tucker got to go somewhere else with a few of the other ones, but it's mostly those, and then independent journalism, which is big, like Tatum, the Candace Owens, the Temples.
I'm not going to hold you up too long, but you made a comment that he's done a lot for the country. Give me 2 or 3 things that you think he's done for the country to make it strong.
He's bringing jobs back. If you want to bring more people into America while taking jobs out of America, that's not good math.
Okay.
That's one. There's not one thing that I can find that makes him racist, in my opinion. So he's breaking out of the chain of media, letting people know what's up. That's another thing.
Okay.
Independent in the opportunity zones have already funded the black community for $50 billion over that, which is helping my community. He's breaking back what put my uncle in jail in '96, which was Joe Biden that passed it.
Along with Courtney and Megan, we were leading the protests, the Stop the Steal protests out there. And it's incredible to see all these people here today. At the end of the day, the one thing that we want is a fair and honest and open election. We will not allow this to be stolen from the people of this country. There is no way that they can just find 200,000 votes overnight. All of them go to Biden, and it all is in the key swing states that Trump needs to secure the presidency. We've got major problems with the election infrastructure in this country. And they need to be fixed, and the votes need to be audited. Not just recounted, they need to be audited. We need to audit the votes to make sure every vote is legal and valid. Trump is an absolute warrior, okay? He is a fighter. He fights everything they throw at him. He fought off the Russia hoax. He fought off all the media slander. He even got COVID and kicked COVID in its ass. We will be the same, and we will fight for our president. He is the legitimate president. We will not allow this election to be stolen, and we will be out, and we will fight, and we will make our voices heard.
From Durham, North Carolina.
Same voice.
And I'm a Trump supporter because this man said he was going to do some things, and he went and did them. We're talking about over 200 Supreme Court justices across the country. We got the First Step Act, getting 5,000 black men, minority men out of prison with, I think it was 75 days on average cut off of their sentences. We're looking at opportunity zones and all the urban revitalization, and then coming out with the Platinum Plan a few weeks ago. Like, you can't really ask for too much more. Super low unemployment rate, 10 years of funding for HBCUs and more than what they were getting before. Like, he said he was going to come and help the country, and he's come and done it.
When urban revitalization, it's the second time I've heard somebody say that. Give me, what was that? Give me the specific act, give me some more about that.
Yeah, so things like the First Step Act, not the First Step Act, opportunity zones. So basically, it's a pool of money. Big businesses and people who have a lot of money, they can get a tax break for putting money into this. And so it's put hundreds of billions of dollars into low income, mostly minority areas. And so minority business owners can use that money to start up their own businesses, or even like franchise a business. Say they wanted to make a Chick-fil-A or a McDonald's in their neighborhood. They knew it would be successful, but they didn't have the capital to do so. This gives them access to that kind of thing.
And the comments about him being a racist, what do you think about that? What's your take on that?
He's not. I met President Trump last year for the first time, and I've gotten opportunities to work with this gentleman multiple times over the last year. He's not a racist. He wasn't a racist in the 80s when he was getting NAACP awards. He wasn't a racist in the 90s or the early 2000s when all these rappers were with him, when Snoop Dogg was with him, and all these other people. Nothing changed except the narrative, and that was coming from CNN, MSNBC, people we don't listen to.
Okay, one last question for you about news sources. Another question I've asked people, other people talk about the news sources that Trump supporters don't have a localized or more narrow view of news. What are your news sources?
So I love the Officer Tatum Report, TatumReport.com, places like Daily Wire. I look at a lot of like independent people, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, because I still like to get a balance between a liberal view and a conservative view, but I want it to be objective at the end of the day.
Okay. Anything to add to that?
Well, really, honestly, quite simply, Trump is fighting for freedom. He's fighting for Jesus. He's fighting for God. The other side very clearly isn't. So, at the end of the day, I stand with my brother Jesus, and wherever the alignment falls, and it's very clearly with Trump.
I got one last thing for you, that question for you. And it has to, is he fighting against pedophiles? This is one narrative that's out there as well. Is he fighting? Does he have the war against pedophiles going on?
Yeah, there was a sting out in the Dominican Republic a few months ago, as well as, how you doing? As well as like 500 kids found in Georgia, Ohio, and there was one other state by the FBI in these pedophile rings. That's something that's actually really high up on his list. He's been putting a lot of funding into it under the radar.
Okay. All right, gentlemen.
And that's the way that I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in time, I stood by him because he did what he said he was going to do. And that's why.
Okay, so there's a lot of people believe that he's a racist. So you
a lot of people, it's been said, Biden, how many things Biden said? If you ain't black if you don't vote for me. All right, if they go way back, and look at some of the things that Biden said way before now, all is changing up, you know, how he's so much for us. We used to be jungle. We used to be in the jungle, remember? He wasn't gonna send his kids to the jungle.
Right.
You know, the kids where our kids go to. All right, nobody's looking at that. Everybody's looking at now, you know, because it's a black thing. That's what they think it is. So if a couple of black people say something, see, a lot of us as black people don't watch the news, don't watch what's really going on in the world. All they see is somebody else saying something, and then they jump on the bandwagon.
Okay, couple last questions for you.
Right.
I want to hold you up.
Okay.
One other two questions I've been asking about news sources. A lot of people are asking, what are their news sources? Where do you get your news from?
I get my news source from Fox News in the beginning, but now we see how they done switched up and turned. So we just went to
Newsmax.
Newsmax.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're getting off of Facebook and Twitter
Yes.
because it's a monopoly.
Yeah.
It's all a monopoly. I see what goes on, and everybody wants to make everything about color or race.
And it's not about
And
color.
we're all Americans. That's the bottom line.
We need to watch. We need to see what's going on instead of just trying to listen.
Okay.
We need
One
to get
last
into
question.
that.
I don't want to hold you up too much longer. The whole election, this is about whether the election was stolen or not. Do you believe it was stolen?
I believe that there may be some things going on. Yes. You know, am I saying the whole thing is fraud? No. But there are some things that are not being looked into that should be looked into.
Give me one example.
Well, you know, you have people coming in saying that they seen ballots being, you know, put in afterwards, or dead people ballots put in. It's not saying whether or not Trump is going to win, or he is or he isn't, but it being fair because America's voting, and that's who it all comes down to, the people. It's not him. You know, everybody looking at Trump. It's not Trump. It's the people. And that's what we look at.
All they pushed was the LGBT law. They do civil rights
Trump supporter?
I'm a Trump supporter because he has the same core values that I have, God and country. I'm a veteran. I served in the United States Navy, and I've seen how the decline of the country has really gone to the way that the people who are more social and Marxism, you know, that kind of thing. I do believe that Trump values life, and that he wants to protect the unborn. That's my main reason for voting for him, is that he believes that the unborn are sacred and we all created in God's image. And if anybody wants to do that, then I'm down for the struggle with that. Anything else out there is, you know, extra dressing, you know what I'm saying? Because what does the Constitution say? First, we are endowed with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. If you don't have the first one, you can't get the other two. You can't catch COVID, you can't do nothing. You just don't exist. And I think that's what the left has done, is devalue life and the value of it. You know, we're made in His image. And I think God is going to hold us accountable for that one day. Because I can guarantee you one thing: everybody's going to leave this world one day, and we're going to have to give an account for what we do and what we say and how we behave.
Okay, question about a lot of people referring to him as a racist. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Well, what I think about that is easy. Just do the math. 390,000 Union troops died in the Civil War, just so you and I can stand here and talk today in freedom and in liberty. And then you always have the annual March for Life. It's more white people down here than black people. So a systematic racism can't exist under those kind of conditions, I would think. I don't see a whole lot of black people down there trying to prevent the same system that's killing black babies. There are more black babies killed than born in the United States nowadays, especially in the state of New York.
Okay. In today's march, today, you know, with the whether the election was rigged, legal, what are your thoughts on that?
You know, do the math. I mean, we've heard a couple of scientists, Dr. Shiva. How can more people vote than being registered to vote? You know, and shame on that party, Democrats, that would take and use dead people to gain power and influence. You know, there's no shame. There's no shame at all in that. So I can't vote for people who stand for everything that went to war and fight for and against, tyranny. And like I said, I'm going to protect the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
One last question for you, as far as the virus, COVID. What do you think? Is it real? Is it a hoax?
Well, it's real. People are getting sick, but we do the math. How many people are dying from it? Only those that really have weak immune systems and are, predisposed to what they call it, pre-existing conditions. I'm 68. I'm not scared of it.
Okay, I've been talking to a lot of people of color about why they're Trump supporters. Can you give me your side on why you're a Trump supporter?
Because this man stands for justice, and all that he promised to do when he was running for president, he have already done it and surpassed that. And I could see the economy is growing more than it was before. And a lot of blacks are working more than when Obama and Biden wasn't in government. And you can see that it's not like standing for white people or so, he was standing for both. And this man stands for justice, Christians. And people have been suppressed, he stands for them. Because if you go back when Obama and Biden was president, they were in government, they did a lot of things that a lot of people here didn't know. I'm originally from Nigeria, but I'm a citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen. So, but if you go back what is happening in Nigeria today, Obama played a role to that.
Give me an idea. Give me a couple of things that Obama did.
The president that was there, who's called Buhari, Obama was the one that supported him to be there. He supported him to be there, and he made sure he won. Because this policy has that the lesbian, gays have to be worldwide. Goodluck Jonathan was the president that was there, and he was against that policy. And because of that reason, Obama was against it. And he took him out and put Buhari. Go to Nigeria today and listen to the news, what's happening, how many people that are dying, how the Muslims trying to Islamatize the whole Nigerian, suppress the Christians, and trying to kill them. Who did that? Obama and Biden. But he's going to stand here and tell people he's going to come back and do it. Nobody could ask him what happened when you were the vice president and that your president and you supported what is going on, imposed the man to the people. That wasn't their choice. And since then, nothing is moving. People are dying in Nigeria. That's one aspect. Then you talk about Libya. If you come to Africa today, Libya was the best run African country where their system, you're a citizen and you're about to get married or so, they give you $50,000 to start up and give you a house. Things are free to you, medical, free. It's just not like here. And it was a very role model for Africans. And they were doing well. It was running. Gaddafi was doing well. But what happened? They took him out. And since then, what is going on in Libya now? Libya now turned to a terrorist playground. Who did that? Democrat. And that's what we're trying to get the third time now. If Biden comes in, what I'm saying is Obama's third time. Because nothing's going to change. But for Trump changed all that. Among all the whole world country, Trump was only president that stand against killing the Christians worldwide. So even the United Nations couldn't. He stand against it, and he raised up 17 countries. 17 countries, including him, and he voted out 50 million to go and stop the killing of Christians worldwide, including Nigeria.
So what do you think about the comment about somebody even said the comment about shithole countries? How does that play into Biden?
How the what?
Shithole countries. That was how Trump.
Yeah, he said that. They deserve that. Yeah, I even praise him for saying that, because you got to tell people truth. You can't be sugarcoating things. They're a shithole country. Why? I have a reason, and I know a reason why he said that, because I feel that when you have a country 50 years independence, they can have a 24-hour supply to the citizens. They don't have a good hospital. they don't have a good roads. Okay, nothing is going on. You have to get your own power supply. You have to get all your own thing, but you're paying tax, doing everything. What is that called? It's a shithole. And all they do is come here and bank their money, stole out from people. Public fund, public money fund that they took, they looted from the country. They come over here and start it, bring their children here, put them in the best school, put them in the best place, and then they go back there and do whatever they want. And when you're trying to speak out, like people are demonstrating here, you come out, they shoot you. Recently, people come out, the youth come out to demonstrate that it's too much. They need government to do something about the situation of them. What happened? The government sent the armies to shoot them. About 75 people were killed.
What was that?
And government was still denying it, and it was on video. You can go Google it.
Where was this?
Huh?
Where was this?
Tollgate, Lagos.
Okay. Lagos, okay.
Yeah, Google it. It was on CNN News. It wasn't hidden, but they're lying. They're saying they didn't kill them. Okay, who sent the army? Who ordered for the shooting? Why must you kill unarmed protesters, just like people here doing, and then the government send army to start shooting them?
Okay.
But that's what they're doing there.
Okay.
So if they're being called shithole, I believe that name was even good. It could have been more worse. I call them more than that. They deserve it. So that's the reason why Trump said that. How can you not take care of your people and then you keep on begging for money, getting loans? When you get this loan, what you do with it? You take it as a personal fund. You put it back on your account, and then you won't do what you were giving it to.
Okay, Joshua.
You know, for example, this pandemic that was going on, coronavirus. A lot of international organizations send palliative to the third world country, including Nigeria. What did the government do? All the senators, all they did was have a warehouse, put the whole thing there, and then refuse to give it to the people. Now people were starving. They asked them to stay indoors, don't come out. For you not spray this, spray that. Okay. Give them the palliative that was given by the international body. It's not your own. They didn't. They hide it. Then what happened? When they start doing this recent demonstration, the youth discovered there's a palliative hide in a warehouse, and then went and got it. And now they say, oh, they're stealing. You're the one stealing that's the people's money. That's their stuff. You hide it. You're the one that stole it. They come to get it back.
Okay.
So there's no justice. But then you find out that all this so-called government, especially what I'm telling, are supporting them. The only man who speaks out against this is who? It's Trump.